Welcome to the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose with Brittany Bigley. The Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose is part of the Live Bigley community, giving you the resources and knowledge to help you live the life you were born to lead. Hello, I am Brittany Bigley coming to you with the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose, and today I wanted to jump on and talk to you about there are stories that we tell ourselves that we believe are to be true, and these stories a lot of times are stuck that we create. Again, whether that's through childhood conditioning, but it's these ingrained stories that we tell ourselves over and over and over again. We tell ourselves, this is who I am as a person. And I'm going to give an example. So today I had the pleasure of being a part of a little writing circle. It was a really great creative practice to be a part of this writing circle. And it was a really safe space to be able to share. But one thing I noticed over and over again as people were sharing their stories that they had written or sharing just the little poems that we had free time to write in 7 minutes of writing time, is that they would preface their sharing their story by saying something like, oh, well, I'm not a poet, but here I'm going to share my story. Or I'm not a creative writer, but here I'm going to share my story. Or I even found myself saying later to the poet who was leading this talk, oh, I'm a visual processor, so I need to open the book. Can I open your book and see the excerpt that you read? And just noticing these statements that we all told about ourselves, that we all prefaced with what was going to come out of our mouths, like with the stories that we shared, this is not true to our authentic being. It is the stories that we have created about ourselves that keep us stuck, right? I'm sure a lot of us in the circle, this creative circle, had shared how like we stifle our writing or we stifle our creative process due to wanting to be perfect or perfectionism, or saying we're not an author, we're not a published author yet. So, or even the author who was published, she was saying, I wasn't going to publish this because I felt like I needed letters next to my name. I felt like I needed to have credentials next to my name in order to publish a book. And so these are all just ways that we create stories that are stuck. Ultimately, it's what's preventing us from keeping it's keeping us from achieving the goal that we want. And so that really is what our stuck is. It's this story that we continue to say over and over and over again. And whether it's we tell ourselves internally, it's an internal dialogue that we have with ourselves. But one of the ways that you can catch this is what you say about yourself as you're talking to others. Again, I was catching it a lot in this writing circle of, oh, I'm not a published author, but here's my story. Oh, I don't think this is good enough, but I'm going to share it anyways. Or, oh, it's not in poem form, so here's my writing. And these are all just stories that we're creating that are dimming our light and dimming our shine. And so just being very aware of the words that we choose when speaking about ourselves. That's a whole other tangent that I can go on. But notice what you say about yourself before you introduce your work, before you introduce yourself. Again, for me, it was just like, oh, can I look at your book because there was something that you read when you shared that I forgot because I'm a visual processor. That's just a story that I create about myself. It doesn't have to be true. I can totally tell myself that I also can auditorily process information, and I'm a really good auditorial processor. But I've told myself over and over and over again that I'm a visual learner, and that's how I learn best. It's not true. So just wanted to pop on and say that the stories that we share about ourselves, they're just stories, and we can always change it. And that is, the stories that we tell ourselves are essentially our stuck that is holding us back from our greatest and truest authentic potential. And as always, if this resonates with you, please go ahead and give it a like. If you feel like this is medicine for others to hear, please go ahead and share it with them. And then if you want content coming to you consistently like this on a daily basis, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, happy healing, happy unstucking yourself, and careful what you say about yourself. But I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for listening to the Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose with Brittany Bigley. The Unstuck Yourself Daily Dose is part of the Live Bigley community, giving you the tools and resources so that you can live the life you were born to lead.